Hey guys, Index Card Day 2018, cards 7 and 8. I'm starting out with embossing folders, and this one with the dots is a Darice brand, and this is, the compass is a Tim Holtz brand. And I'm going in with some Finnabair Sparks acrylic paint, and I'm just using an ink blending tool to apply that paint because I don't want like any paintbrush lines. I want a really smooth application, and the ink blending tool does that, and it also helps to blend the two colors together nicely. So I wanted to try this technique. I saw Sandra from Made by Sani doing this technique. She is on the Simon Says Stamp Monday Challenge blog, and she also does videos of her process. And she's been doing this thing with the Finnabair paints, not the paints I have, but different paints, but it's shimmery also. And so she applies that down, and then she puts pigment powders on top. And it just looks really cool with the color variations, and I wanted to try that technique. So shout out to her for that, and I will link her channel and blog in the description box below so you can check her out as well. She has some really cool videos and projects that she does. So I'm just applying some Lindy Stamp Gang Magicals, and I had Guten Tag Teal and Tibetan Poppy Teal, and now I have Bratwurst Brown, and I wanted to grungy it up a little. That's why I chose the brown. And the thing about this brown is that it's when you activate the color, you can see pinks and blues and yellows in there, and it's very unexpected, but pretty cool. So I'm also going around the edges of my card with a distress ink pad, and I'm just rubbing the ink pad across the some of the raised areas, and then I'm going to activate it with some water and just let that color run around and pool in the crevices and do what it wants to. And now I'm going to start on the circle card. And this card, the embossing folder was a lot more plain than the compass was, so I thought I'd do some stamping first to give it a little more interest. And the coffee rings is a Viva Las Vegas stamp. Oh, and this one is too. It's called Mesh Texture. And I'm just using some brown ink, brown StazOn, and one of the Letterit inks from the Ranger Letterit collection. And then I'm going to apply that Bratwurst Brown to this card. And like I said, you can see there the different colors that show up in this brown. And it's really delightful if you're expecting it. But if you're not expecting it, it can be a little like, whoa, what's going on here? The first time I did it, I was like, okay. But now that I know, it's pretty cool. And I'm just going to go in with a couple layers till I'm happy with the intensity of color. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the compass card with the distress ink around the edges. And I painted some of that Finnabair Sparks paint on some cardstock to stamp a sentiment. And this is a Tim Holtz stamp set. I got it at Michael's. It's got it's a stamp and die set. It has like the stamp of the globe and the die that goes with it. I forget what it's called. So I'm just gonna run that through my Big Shot with the die, and once it's cut out, I'm gonna go in with that distress ink and running around the edges of the paper to cover up that white of the cardstock, and bring it in a little bit to grungy it up just a scotch. And I have a chipboard die cut from Wow Studio, and I'm also going to ball up some thread to put behind my sentiment. And I'm keeping it pretty simple because I really enjoy the background and I don't want to cover the background up. So now I have some of my current favorite clear droplets. It would not be a card of mine without these droplets. I'm kind of obsessed with them, if you couldn't tell. But, you know, they add a little something, you know. They are kind of a pain to apply though, but I have one of those quick sticks, you know, it's kind of like gummy on the end, so you can pick up sequins and things. And that's helpful in applying this. And I'm just going to apply them with some glossy accents. So that is it for my cards today. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm not going to tell you which one is my favorite. I'm curious to see which one is your favorite, the compass one or the circles one. So let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.